Hello, my name's Abigail. I'm a therapist, counsellor, and psychic medium, and I want to talk more today about men and alienation from their children. I've done a couple of videos on this, but I'd just like to say a bit more about how to repair with your children from this, because for men, from what I see in my work, is that it can be soul destroying. Look, honestly, it can be soul destroying because men are wired to provide and protect their families. And what do you do when your family is falling to pieces and as a man you haven't been able to keep that together? I mean, it's really common, but it's really soul destroying. So what I would say to you is no, 100% that this is one of the biggest, most tragic things that will probably ever happen to you, and it's a lesson in life to come back stronger from. That's what men do. They come back stronger. They do. They have to, because that's what our society is built on. If men can stand strong, I know I'm going to get in trouble with all the feminists, but if we can have men in their good masculine energy that we can trust to lead us, that we can trust to provide and protect, then we can be safe to have good, strong, solid communities, and we can raise children in ways that are productive and helpful and not too traumatizing. So let's get back to men who have been in a separation, alienation from their children. Okay, it's soul destroying. It throws away everything that you thought was your value, your purpose, your worth, your pride in the world, and leaves you often dealing with the legal system, dealing with new men in your children's lives. And how do you do that? And an alienated mother as well, who may be really difficult to negotiate with, because let's face facts, women are more emotional, and men most often struggle to understand how to respond in the right way, and women feel unheard, undervalued, and victimized, and it becomes a really tricky, tragic circle with everybody trying their best but reacting, and it's just difficult. So let's go back. Know that one of the most tragic things that you can ever go through has happened, but you can come back stronger. That's the purpose of the life battle, to come back stronger, bigger, better than you ever were before. But how do you do that? Well, you get support, for starters. You deal with it like you would a problem at work. You problem solve. You've got overwhelming emotion, your life isn't going where you want it to, you're using substances, you're using escapism, you're gaming too much, you're getting up to things you shouldn't. If you're doing all those because you've got nothing to protect and provide, and then you're providing a little bit of yourself to your children, it's probably not ideal. So you start to recognize that you're in this position that is the battle of your life, really, and you need to take control. And you don't do it in the traditional way of building your armor. You do it by laying down your armor and getting support from somebody who you feel will be able to listen to your story. You can share your story and they can reflect it back to you with new meaning. Like, if you have good friends that can do that, that's amazing. But usually they'll just collude with your story or be angry with you or support you in ways that you need in the moment, but maybe not to rebuild. So if you can find a counselor, therapist, an alternative therapist, and start to move that emotion through your body and process it out and change your beliefs about who you are, that's the start. So the biggest thing that you need to do at this time is be present with your children. So that means taking away all the distractions of what you're going through on a life front of being the man you thought you were. And when you're with your children, being really present. And what does that mean? Especially if you've been in a situation where a lot of that care was maybe done by the mom, and now you suddenly got to do all the washing, all the meal planning, all the running around and everything else on top of a day job and life stress and everything else. So being present means being here in the moment, not being up in your head, being in your body, being in your peace, being in your heart, and listening and taking in every moment as much as possible. Like, we're not unrealistic here. So one of the things you can do with your children is child-led play, and this is really good for every age, really. So child-led play is a really valuable way to build your relationship and reconnect their emotional regulation back to the relationship with you. So child-led play for a little one, it can be going for a long walk and looking at every leaf they want to look at, every little stone they want to look at, every flower they want to pick, every dog they want to smile at, and being part of that and being present and letting them feel like nature in their hands, putting their hands in the water on the beach, putting the sand, letting them feel the sand beneath their toes, collecting shells, whatever it might be that you use your 5 senses with your child. The other thing is, when they're a little bit older too, is playing games and playing Play-Doh. Like, be present, take turns, encourage, interact, and let them lead. Like, let them understand the rules and start to give advice on who goes first and what happens. Don't let them take over though. And just kind of, another really good one is things like Play-Doh. And so what you see with parents who've been through a lot, they're not always able to be present and listen and connect with their child. And it's no disrespect. It's just been, there's a lot going on for a lot of people. So play Play-Doh with them and let them decide what you're going to make together. And say you're both making, I don't know, a hat. Start making it and ask them how they're doing it. Let them see what you're doing. Help each other and just really do something that you're feeling, you're present, you're maybe telling a story, letting them tell the story, letting them lead, looking at what they're doing, listening, talking, being present, feeling, and letting them, encouraging them to smell it, to be present, to not taste it, everything. So with older ones, it can be experiences like, you know, go bike riding together, go skateboarding together, go do daredevil things together, go to lunch together. Let them have a lead though, and let them share in what passions and who they are and what you might have, and think of something that suits both of you and ask questions and talk about it afterwards. Create memories. Like, send them, you know, if you can, send them a photo afterwards of you two doing it and a bit of a memory, a story. Be present, be really present, and try and get away from the gaming. Sorry, gamers, it's just not great. Or take them to something that's really unique, like seeing an orchestra or something, anything that uses the senses, anything. And with the old ones too, scary things that are thrill-seeking, you know, all those things. But key things. Use your senses, be present, listen, ask questions, answer their questions. Just kind of let them lead a little bit. Let them say, where are we going? Oh, we've got 2 options for lunch. Which restaurant? Here's a menu. Here's a menu. What do you want? Even if they're little, like, let them choose. Be led by them. And then talk about afterwards what you've done. You want to start creating memories for life for this child, because that's what childhood is. It's memories for life. So as a dad, get back present in their world. Do the things that are overwhelming, you know, even if you can just manage part of a few hours for an activity, and the other stuff you're catching up on, all the school stuff and the homework or whatever else you have to do. But do child-led play, which is allowing the child to lead. And, you know, with babies too, you can do things like massage with like just basic moisturizer. You can massage their feet, things that keep you both present and connected. Stay in your body, keep them in their body. Don't be up here. We don't want everyone up here thinking, disassociating, thinking about what else we have to do in our life and how it's all gone to pieces. When we're with the child, the most important thing is to be child present, child led, and connect. And connect is listening, asking questions, enjoying, sharing memories, being, number one thing, curious. Be curious, ask them questions and let them, you know, feel things, touch things, think of the 5 senses. And I think that's a really good way to just build memories for dads. Always plan something, and same for mums as well. It's just a really good way to reconnect with your child, because just as you're going through a lot, they're going through a lot. But if you're not regulated and settled when you're with them, they're not going to be. They're going to be up here too, and they're just going to feel like they're following by your side and doing what dad wants to do, and you know, which is good. But no, childhood is about play. Repair is about play. Having memories to treasure is about play for a child and being present, and all they ever want is their adult, their parent, their mum, their dad, being there, listening, valuing, showing the right way, guiding them, bringing them back, pushing against the boundary of mum and dad, and getting a standard response. So I hope that helps. I'll do a video on how to maybe discipline or something like that, or consequences. Okay. Let me know if you want any support, and look, know what you're going through will pass. Just take control as a man and get back in your leadership energy. Don't get knocked down. Like, don't. Get back in your true energy, provide a safety, and being good. Just being a good person, and don't let the emotions overwhelm them. Solve it as a problem. All right, I'm available for video sessions if anyone needs any support or help, especially anything to do with court or DV. Had a lot of experience in written court documents supporting men who find themselves unknowingly victims of family violence themselves, or they've been had family violence allegations made against them. I'm not going to fully write up a report that if you haven't done the work. If you've been a perpetrator of family violence and you've done the work to make different choices and grow from it, then I'm going to support you 100%. If you're regular in your sessions and you ask me for documentation, I will do it, as long as I can see and assess that you've made the changes necessary. But what I've found with most men is they're actually subject to family violence as well, which is another thing that needs to be worked through, because what are you doing? What are you doing being in this type of relationship, or not knowing how to change the dynamics around to get strong and get in control? Okay, that's enough for today. Thank you. You're doing a great job. Keep going.